I know where you are coming from. You were happily living your life and you thought it's going to be like that till the end of time. But one day you heard about this thing called Forex trading. They told you this market turns over $7 trillion per day, and if you took only a tiny piece of that, you would already be rich beyond your imagination. You watched some videos. You bought a book and a course. They warned you that your psychology is against you and told you how to develop a trader's mindset. They also gave you a strategy that was very promising. You learned that strategy and your first month was awesome. You thought, heck, it's a gold mine. Let me put more money into it. But after a while, something strange happened. You started losing. You made a conclusion. Maybe it's a bad strategy after all. I need to find another teacher. And you did. And you earned even more. But then you lost again. After a while, you thought, maybe all those teachers out there are scammers. I need to develop my own strategy. And you tried really hard. But every time you found something that works and put your money on the line, it wouldn't be long until your profits turned into losses again. And then you reckoned, maybe this whole thing is a scam, and there is no way this can work at all. And you gave up. But after a while, a creeping thought revisited your mind. Wait, there are people who actually make money trading Forex, so this can't be a scam. If only I could be one of them, this would be a life changer. How do I know your story? You are not unique, mate. It happened to me too, and to millions of other people. I was only 17 years old when I first heard about Forex trading. I went to broker's office for a free seminar where I was supposed to learn the ropes of success in Forex in just 5 evenings. When I turned 18, I opened my first live account, which was partially funded by my parents as well. Yes, I did a PowerPoint presentation to my parents and they agreed to invest. Wall Street style. Do I need to tell you what happened to that account? You already know. And it happened in just a few months. For the following 11 years, I was searching for that holy grail strategy that would bring me riches with no success at all. No matter from whom I learned and no matter how much I paid for their courses, none of it worked at all. There was always that one piece to the puzzle that was missing. But I just couldn't find it. I finally learned it wasn't a coincidence. The Forex market is designed like that, so that you would never find that missing piece. The Forex market is not random at all, and there is always a reason for why price moves as it is. But the problem is that you don't know that reason and you are looking at the charts upside down from a completely wrong perspective. You were trained to see the charts as you do, and there is a reason for that as well. Most educators are funded by the brokers. That means the education that they provide is not really education. It's more of a hypnosis that shows you an imaginary light, but once you start reaching for that light, it goes further and further away from you. You are not aware that you are hypnotized to stay in the darkness, because the only thing that you can see is that elusive light in front of you, almost within your reach. But why educators want you to lose? Because brokers want you to lose. And if you don't lose, they will not pay to the educators. But wait, why brokers want you to lose in the first place? Because they are not stupid. Competition is fierce, and they have to pay a big chunk of their revenues to introducing brokers, or in other words, educators. If brokers' only source of revenue was commission, spread, and swap, they couldn't compete. So they have to profit from your losses as well. How do they do that? Simply speaking, they just don't put your orders to the market. It doesn't matter if your broker says they use ECN, have no dealing desk, and if they issue receipts from liquidity providers. These are all just fairy tale marketing tricks. At the end of the day, you are still in the sandbox where a small amount of winning players are paid from the losses of others. And if you win too much, they use their tricks to take away from your profits. But if you become too annoying, you are simply kicked out. Forget the regulators, as they are not there to help you. They have their own agenda. It really doesn't matter in how many jurisdictions the broker is regulated or how big it is. They all operate in the same way because they act on the same side of the Forex market. If you have heard about bucket shops that existed back in 1870s, then you have a good idea about how the modern-day Forex brokers operate. Brokers could hedge against your wins, and in some cases they have to do it, but that takes them twice as much capital, so they don't like it. It's a bad business. There is an obvious conflict of interests. The world of most Forex educators is actually an inverted world, and since they all preach the same things, it may appear like they are legit, because there is nothing else to compare against. But they are not legit at all. How about other education companies that are not funded by the brokers? Yes, they do exist, but there is another problem with that. I used to be a student at one of such companies. It was an Aussie company called Infinite Prosperity. The teachers were actually making money in the market. They were not affiliated with any broker and had a financial education license. I even traveled to Australia and met with the founder in person. But here is the problem. As they invested more into marketing, they eventually got too many students who were employing the same strategies in the market. Soon their strategies became worthless and the company went out of business. Why? because they were retail strategies that worked only for a brief period of time until brokers started hunting these traders. And that's the problem with all retail strategies. All of them eventually expire. Why? Because they are based on incorrect beliefs that were created by the inverted world of broker-funded educators in the first place. Even though Infinite Prosperity founders and some of their students were lucky to make some money themselves before the company stopped operations, they never ever got to understand the real reason of why the market moves as it moves. And it's the same problem with all other retail educators. They are either broker funded or their strategy will eventually expire and they will have no idea how to fix it. Also, they are unaware that the initial reason for their success was because the brokers wanted it to happen exactly like that. The educators thought they knew what they were doing, but in fact, they had no clue. When they face difficulties, they usually have two choices: either close the business or hide in the shadows by not publishing their own trading statements anymore and just continue profiting from clueless new students who happily pay for their course. I saw the latter type of companies. I must admit it's disgusting indeed, but that's just how some people operate in this world, and it's not just in the Forex market. You can be almost sure that this world has more fantasy sellers than those who genuinely earned their way into a fantasy life without selling deceptions to others. So now we have ruled out most of the education companies, as we know their stuff just can't work. It's no different with books, YouTube videos, or any other medium of information transfer. People who share it either get a kickback from the brokers, so they teach you how to lose, or they are indeed genuine people who achieved some degree of success in the market, but the stuff that they share doesn't work anymore because it's used by too many retail traders. And given the speed of communications in the current world, you can't rely on any information that is available to the public. Doesn't matter if it's expensive, cheap, or free. Why? Because it becomes unusable and irrelevant as quickly as in one day. You can't trust any information that you are given by anyone who doesn't require you to sign a non-disclosure agreement. So, after ruling out most of the educators, you are left with only two choices, which are either teach yourself how to trade or find a successful professional trader who, first, doesn't primarily run an education business, 2. teaches one-on-one during live market conditions and doesn't hide behind the trees, 3. doesn't have any pre-recorded courses to sell, like videos, PDFs, and so on, 4. doesn't have more than a few dozen of students, if any. Which way is better? Teaching yourself is definitely the harder way, but it's not impossible. However, if you had been trying to teach yourself for a couple of years already with no success, then I am almost sure that you are doing it the wrong way. The reason for this is that your belief system was already affected by the inverted propaganda of broker-funded educators. In that case, it's very hard to change your beliefs and methods of learning on your own because you have no reference points to look up to. Why? It's extremely unlikely to find any good trading examples online because no professional trader will ever share their secrets to the public unless they have a hidden agenda which makes it beneficial for them, but bad for you. If you believe that you can find truth in the forums where casual people are supposed to be found, forget it. I tried to participate in the forums and help the people in there, but I found myself being ridiculed, insulted, laughed at, and even banned at some of the forums. Why? Because the trading forums are also usually funded by the brokers, and some of the people who appear to be the casual posters are actually brokers' employees. They will do everything to maintain the inversion narrative and block out any information that may show an exit door out of their matrix world. Why? Because the inversion narrative is the single most important driver of their business success. Besides, the people who hang out in the forums are usually full of resentment due to their past failures, and they're only there to stroke their egos by seeing how other people lose, as it makes them feel a bit better. So I don't post in the forums anymore, and it's definitely not a place where you should be looking for answers as well. So if you failed to teach yourself, you are left with only one option, and that option is to find somebody who 1. Actually trades the professional side of the market. 2. Flies under the radar. 3. Has the time to teach you. In 2021, I was finally trained by one of such people. My mentor had been making money in this market for almost 20 years already, and he is a rare breed of self-taught traders. He was unlucky that he had to go through extreme hardships while teaching himself to trade, but he was also lucky because there were simply no educators who could teach, or in other words, fool him back in those times. So his only option was to teach himself, and he wasn't exposed to all of the bullshit propaganda that we are exposed to in the current times. After my training completed, I started to see the charts with completely new eyes. I was revealed the actual reason of why Forex market moves as it moves, and who are the actual participants of this market. I also got to know that there are two sides of the Forex market, and only one of those sides actually allows you to make money. If you are not aware which side you are on, then you are most likely trading on the wrong side. I have never seen this information in any of the retail courses that are mass marketed to the public. It's not the Holy Grail, forget it, as it doesn't exist. But just imagine that 1. You are trading on the correct side of the market. 2. You know why the price moves as it moves. 3. You know who is actually moving the price right now. 4. You have a well-defined professional trading strategy that is based on actual market knowledge and not on some stupid probability model. Don't you think that this would already put you in the top 5% of all traders? Open your eyes and look around. Listen to how the people whom you perceive as market gurus talk. Don't take their words one-on-one, but listen between the lines. Don't you think they are talking the same stuff that every other guru talks about? Doesn't it seem like they're too excited about what they talk for some undisclosed reason? Don't you ever think why there is so many trading styles invented, but there is only one way the price moves all the time? I mean, if the price rose 20 pips in the last hour, and if you wanted to profit from that move, then why would you need so many different strategies like EMAs, stochastics, smart money concepts, MACDs, VWAPs, etc.? There must be just one reason the price moves and just one strategy to capture those moves, isn't it? But whatever guru you are listening to, none of them seem to be able to explain why the price moved as it moved to the full extent. Whatever reason they give you, if you backtest, you see that it only worked in this case, but it failed in most others. It starts to feel like every trading strategy is just a marketing trick designed to lure you into trading and lose your money. And you know what? This feeling is actually correct. They are indeed telling you bullshit, and deep down you know it, but you still listen because you don't know any better. And most of those salesmen turned educators also don't know any better. If they did, they would be trading, not talking. Wow, what a weird world, isn't it? The choice is yours, so it's up to you, mate. I can teach you how to actually make money trading Forex the correct way. Just be assured that the light at the end of the tunnel does actually exist, and there is another world of trading that you never ever got to touch. You can try to jump through the window yourself, or you can pay a professional trader to introduce you to this world. Or you can continue living in the darkness, if that's what you like. I'm not here to judge you, because I advocate a libertarian capitalist world, where we make our own choices and nobody is obligated to help us. I just know one thing, that if I never learned from my current mentor, I would most likely have never understood how to actually make money trading, and I would have drowned in this dark lake of ignorance. If you would like to receive exact course descriptions, together with pricing, contact me at thomas@traderwise.me or +370 630 90709 by phone, message, WhatsApp, or Telegram. Thanks for listening and have a nice day.